out there? Welcome back to the Phantoms Fanatic YouTube channel, and yes, I missed a week of uploads and podcasts and stuff like that. The reason being for that is because I went on vacation. Lick my balls if you care. Anyways, I am back with another review, and this week we are reviewing X. Not X-Men, not the no. X, which is a horror thriller released in 2022, this year, directed by Ty West, starring Jenna Ortega, Maya Goth, I don't know which one to pronounce, Brittany Snow, Kid Cudi, Stephen Uri, Martin Henderson, and a bunch of other people. To give the basic plot synopsis of this film, a bunch of actors set off to make a porno. I'm not going to say an adult film like the Google synopsis says over here. Yes, I have it pulled up over here because I need to remember the cast. Cut me some fucking slack about that. Anyways, they set out in Texas somewhere where there's gator ponds and shit to set out to make a porno because it's the 70s and porn was huge back then. Just like Kid Cudi's dick in this stuff. God, I hate myself. Anyways, that joke only makes sense if you've seen the film. They head out to do that, and then the innkeepers don't know that they're making a porn, but then it turns, stuff happens, and then a horror movie happens, then they all get killed through slasher scenes. One thing that I really like about this film is it starts off in a very slow burn. I watched this on Amazon because it's not out on DVD or anything yet, from at least my knowledge. And I didn't get to see this in theaters. I wanted to see it in theaters, but unfortunately I just missed it. I didn't see it because it also pulled it early. But one thing that I really do like about this film is that it's very slow burn. And according to other people, Ty West's other films are very slow burn. Now, I haven't seen any of his other films. I've seen Your Next, where he's a character in that, so... Anyways, what I like is it starts off, the first hour is not really that much horror. There is, like, horror music and, like, horror undertones, but... what I like is it starts off at a slow burn, then turns into a slasher halfway through. But to be honest, the killing and, like, jump scare, like, things aren't really the most scariest thing in this. Sure, there's decently directed horror scenes that build up enough suspense to where you're surprised. And that work very well, don't get me wrong. But the thing that I like about this film is that its message and its core themes, especially the motives of the killers... this is getting mildly spoiler, is that their motives have to be doing with, like, getting older and not having the ability that other people have and that they take shit for granted. Like, that's a constantly reminded thing. That's why these porn actors just fuck each other, is that what they've explained. And it's a very, like, existentially driven movie about getting older and not being able to do the things you want to do, which... that, in my opinion, is the most, like, existential horror-ish thing in this. Don't get me wrong. There's nicely directed horror scenes, especially when you have different characters, the killers in the background, and you see the characters in the foreground, or there's, like, a funny thing with an alligator and stuff like that. And the gore is actually very, very well done. It is very practical. There's some gruesome as fuck kills in this, and... obviously, when it gets to the slasher moments in the film, you obviously know that these characters aren't going to make it out of there. There are some surprising, like, deaths and how sudden they happen or how brutal they fucking are. But, obviously, you know, when a character is separated in a dark area, you know they're not going to fucking live and stuff like that. But... surprisingly, most of the actors are very likable in this. I can see this film going one or two ways with these characters. They can either seem like complete assholes and just like sex pests, but I think that's not what this film is going for. It has a very lighthearted display of the porno industry, in my opinion, and there's a lot of comedy driven from obviously those scenes with the porn and stuff like that, but But the thing is, you could say, oh, it's just titillating and like just there to be fan service, which I don't think it is, because when you get back to the main motive of the killers, and when you get to the whole theme of the movie, it completely makes sense when you mention it. And most of these actors are very well, you know, actors and make their characters very likable. They aren't like dickhead people that you're just waiting to get killed most of the time. Sure, there's some like a bit of annoying dialogue here, but I think that's mainly done for comedic sakes. Like the director of the porn is like, yeah, I'm gonna make this be like some be like some like artsy new wave shit, and I find that just amazingly amazingly funny. But when these people are helping other people and concerned for other people, they seem genuine, and like I really like that depiction, is that these are characters that you're not just waiting to die. These characters are somewhat likable for the most part. And especially with a film with a plot like this, where it has a lot to do with like porn and stuff like that, obviously it would be a lot easier to make the characters irredeemable. But I feel like they don't do that. Most of the characters are somewhat connectable, and same thing with the villains. Their motives are understandable, but it's just the way they take it is the problem for the most part. And yeah, they're very sympathetic, even to where I think we're getting a prequel movie about the killers, about one of the killers. But the problem is that trailer was only at the end credits in the theater, and I didn't see it in the theater, so I haven't seen the trailer. So yeah, but no, all the actors very good, very funny also in most of this, and especially the villains are very well portrayed. Even though their makeup, and you'll get what I'm saying when you see them, their makeup is a bit but it's mostly kept in shadows and didn't bother me that much. And I really like all the '70s music that it has in the film. It's like a bunch of it's a very good soundtrack, and then there's also a very good like horror-ish score that's fine enough for the film. And especially when you get Jenna Ortega in this film, who has been killing it with horror movies. I think she was in Studio 666 and she was in Scream 5, but then this, and what happens to her character in this, it's like, oh yeah. But it's not like saying she's necessarily wrong about doing this, it's just the situation that they're in with what happens, you know. I really like that. And then Maya Goth, as the main lead, is very good at explaining that, like, like most of these characters don't want to work hard, they want to have stardom and shit like that, and you completely get that with her character, especially with her relation to one of the killers, which I think she plays. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she plays her, which is an impressive thing when you have a same actor playing two characters, and it links the two characters together to where it makes a lot of sense, and I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I definitely recommend this one. It is an enjoyable, not really a slasher. It's very slow burn at first, then it gets to slasherous things, but it's not. It's slasher in the basic aesthetic of it, but it has more to it, which I like. That's what I like what Ty West did with this. And his direction is very nice. There's this opening shot that was very cool, and there's a bunch of meta references, which I'm fine with because I actually found them funny. And there's a decent amount of comedy in the film that laughed for me, especially the film guy, because that's me. So, yeah, and I didn't realize that I'm wearing a Jason shirt, which kind of matches with this whole aesthetic, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed this film. I want to check out Ty West's other work. Obviously, I have not checked out his other work, but after seeing this, I'm like, yeah, and then I'm excited for apparently like a trilogy that's coming out with these that A24 released. But yeah, that was X, but I enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable, very good horror movie that takes itself seriously but then has slasher-esque elements. All the characters are still relatable and you still understand their motives, and I think the film works very well, and the lighting and the rigging and it looking like the '70s makes it work so much. And yeah, this is just a good horror movie to me. So yeah, I definitely recommend this one. But just saying, there's porn in it, so there's dicks and boobs and shit in it. But there's not super graphic stuff. It's just implied graphic stuff. That's it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe down below. Share your opinions of the film in the comment section down below. I always like to see those. Make sure to request any other movies you want me to review. And yeah, so from now on, I'm going to try to get 2 reviews out a week. Mainly newer stuff. This is kind of my last backlog thing. Obviously, I was reviewing the Predator movies. But I'm going to try to... I plan on seeing all the new releases soon, which is like Black Phone, Lightyear, Elvis, all those fucking things. So be expecting those ones in the future. But yeah, I will see you all next time.